Well, I mean, like I guess the most obvious way that it's changed is, and like the last time we were in Mexico City, there were three of us in the band. It was me and Oscar and a guy called Gabriel. And so about 3 years ago, Gabriel left the band, and Anna and Benga, who's over there, joined the band. And it just became more like a band. Like Anna plays drums and Benga plays the bass, and we don't use kind of like pre-recorded music in the live performance anymore. And I guess that's just made the kind of music kind of change a little bit and become a bit more kind of like live, I guess.
Yeah, he does like to preach about kind of not having backing tracks and click tracks and everything, like being completely live. But then we're completely live as well.
Yeah.
I mean, in that sort of scene.
I'm surprised that so many bands like that we've seen, like big bands like the Killers or kind of Coldplay or people like that they use kind of like backing tracks and stuff. But I guess it's quite common. But it makes, I think, probably probably what he means to say is that it feels a lot better to not have to kind of rely on a computer, you know. I mean, I don't like, you can understand why bands do it, I think, but it just feels more fun if you're doing it kind of live, I think.
Well, it's still very much Joe's like the main dude. He's kind of, you know, I've played it on a couple of tracks on the album, but mainly I'm just kind of replicating what Joe's written, and like the same, like when I first joined the band and doing Nights Out, like there's no real drums on that record, so that was quite a challenge, but it was fun.
In that respect, like the live show, like the new kind of setup has made it kind of a completely different experience in a way for the fans. Like now the kind of, I don't know, like, because I think whatever the record is, like, we spend most of our time playing it live anyway. So it's kind of like, I don't know, I think it's I don't know, I think everyone gets a proper chance to bring something to the live show, which I don't know, and I think it changes. I don't know, it changes the songs kind of very slightly, but over a long period of time. I mean, like, every day they probably change a little bit. Like, I mean, I get remixes are the kind of thing which I've done more of, and I think it's not kind of, it's kind of easy, really. Like, it's probably easier to change someone else's song than it is to change your own, in a way. Like, you can take someone's song and you don't really care about it, and you don't really, you know what I mean? You don't have this kind of emotional attachment to the song, so it's kind of easy, and that's why I did so many remixes, and that's why I was enjoying it, was because you can just do what you want, and like, and you're much more precious about your own music. So he's a time traveler. Yeah, like, I mean, Errol is someone that I think, if you're in London, you kind of, and you're lucky. Well, if you're in London and you're cool, no, but you know, you're kind of, everyone. I think probably when Anna moved to London as well, like Trash was still going, or
Bugged Out.
Yeah, like all that stuff. So I think he's just someone that really gets excited by new music, and I think doesn't really he enjoys finding people, and I think that's the nice thing about him. And so when he did the remix for The Bay, like, it was just, well, it's kind of great. The funny thing is, I didn't even know that he was doing one, and like, he phoned me and was like, oh, I've just sent through the remix, and I was like, what remix? He's like, I've done a remix of The Bay, and I was like, oh, amazing. And then it's just kind of, the nice thing about that remix is that it's just a different kind of version of the same elements of the song. Like, he hasn't really added anything, and I think for it to be taken up by so many DJs is great, because nothing that I've ever done has ever been taken up really by DJs.